Moment of silence, now scream to your lungs, high pitch. I mean, I'm all about the skrilla, well, I guess that's about it. The root of happiness, absent for duty. I practiced abstinence for a week or two, but nothing was the same when I learned the game from a freak or two. They better add the king in front of your name when they...
Going on, we're here with another episode of the Boyz to Gents Podcast. I'm here with the guys. I got my boy Josh Nixon, Kelvin Thomas, got my boy TJ or Chef TJ, and then we got a special guest, my homeboy, Daquan Farmer.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing, man?
All right, good. So we're gonna hop straight into the topics because Daquan, he ain't what you want to go by, bro? You want to just call you Daquan? You want me to call you Farm? I know
people call me Spiff, so
Spiff, okay.
So with Spiff today, you know, I'm looking a little spiffy and shit, you know.
All right, bet. So Daquan Farmer, aka Spiff. So we're gonna get straight into it because Spiff, you know, he a little strapped on time. So I wanna hear his ideas on at least the first two topics. All right. So the first topic we want to hop into is I'm gonna call it victimhood mentality in the Black community. All right. So and how we gonna get into this subject is gonna be a little different. But so first, everybody, y'all been watching the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Y'all been watching, you know what I'm saying, Kyrie and a lot of his activism in the community and all that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I want to get into this subject because it's been kind of on my mind or whatever, right? So first I want to say, like, I like a lot of the stuff that Kyrie doing, right? I like a lot of his I like what he's trying to do, right? But I will say at times I think that the way he go about things is at times seem a little bit self-serving.
Righteous.
Yeah, a little self-righteous, definitely. Okay, so for instance, right? So in the beginning, so before the Celtics series or whatever, they got to talking about they got Kyrie talked about going back to Boston because of course he played there for a couple years, right? And then that he mentioned hopefully, you know, going back to Boston that they keep it just basketball. Then he started talking about a lot of racism and stuff that goes on in Boston. Now that I mean, shit, I think a lot of people kind of have this idea of that area, Boston specifically, being racist, right? But after the series, like what was it, like I think game 3 or game 4, Kyrie went on to like stump on they logo, right? And which I think kind of like sparked a little bit at the end because when he walked out, somebody like threw a bottle or something at him. And although, like I said, it's wrong to throw something at anybody, right? But how I look at it is this: if you're gonna do something like that, right? If you're gonna talk about, you know, people keeping stuff basketball and you know, staying away from the racism and stuff, and you already know you're going into an area that's already charged up because of the way you left the area, why do something that's gonna get people even more riled up and upset? Although I don't think he did anything necessarily like super wrong, but I don't necessarily know if it was the right thing to do if the message that you was coming across was like you want to keep it basketball. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. But I want to Spiff. I want to hear what you guys say on that.
Well, that's an interesting tie-in. As far as stuff like that is concerned, it's like, why would you, you know, provocate people to do the exact, you know, feel as though that was the initial issue to begin with, you know, right? And you wanted to speak out on that issue, and your way of you know, and then on the back end, you step on a logo, which I mean, it's not that big of a deal in the first place. But why would you provocate? You know what I'm saying? Or provoke, like, you know, them people. There's no reason for that. As far as victimhood in the Black community, and my stance on that, on my piece on that, I think it's definitely a crutch. I think we definitely crutch, especially, you know what I'm saying, in 2021. I would probably be able to say that over the last 10 to 15 years, let's say, we've become leaps and bounds ahead of where we were as far as education is concerned. About education about our history, education about, America and its origins, and education about, our history beyond America, right? Where we come from as African people all together. We got too much information on that, and this been, kind of a topic of discourse over the last 10 to 15 years, especially, let's say, over the last 5, right? So my question to, my people is, how long will we have this information and continue to blame the white man, or continue to blame capitalism, or continue to blame, all of these other institutions about, our place in the country right now? How long will we use that, that crutch, so to speak, to explain our state, when we have all the information to move beyond that? And there's so many examples, shining examples of, us moving beyond that point. There's too many people out here that, have taken what they learned and applied it, and have done great things and continue to do great things. I know too many people personally. I'm sure you guys know people as well. Even us doing this podcast right now is, evidence that, it's people out here that have something to say. It's people out here that understand how to take the education that they've, gained 8 years and apply it. So, and I'm, countless other business, people come to mind when you think about stuff like that. You could go to the top of the top and, Jay-Z and Oprah and blah, blah, blah. You could do that, or you could keep it at the, the base level. And I know people who are 25, 26 and own their own businesses, own their own lash companies, own their own restaurants. TJ as a chef, as we got on here right now. So, and I'm sure you guys got y'all business ventures, going right now. And that's at the base level. This is people who we don't even see, let alone the people that we actually do see this, doing their thing. So I just wonder how long really will we use that as a crutch? And it's also, once we get past the idea of the white man holding us back, and you really think about it, like, a lot of that shit is, I don't want to say it's an illusion, but it's like a lot of the stuff we abide by this foregone conclusion that everything in the world is oppressor versus oppressed. And it's like, if we continue to think like that, we'll always be the oppressed, and there'll always be the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? But when you really look at it, like, who's really oppressing us physically speaking? You know what I'm saying? Physically speaking, not the mental part of it. And the mental part shouldn't be as prominent as it is today, because, again, we have education to tell us why we behave the way we behave, or why we have thought the way we have thought for the last, 300 years. But now we have the education. We have nothing but.
I was let me I got it's a few questions I got for you, but let me let Kelvin chime in real quick before I ask you a few questions.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, I agree with everything bro said. That was it. But my final answer, it's kind of a 2-part thing. The victimhood mentality, I'm gonna do that one first, and then talk about the Kyrie thing in a minute. But I hate to do it like this, but my overall answer to that, I would say, is yes and no. like do we have too much of it? Yes. Do we have too much of it? No. Is what I'm saying. I think you almost have to go. I'm gonna explain. I know.
Hey, matter of fact, stay on the victimhood. We're gonna come back to the Kyrie thing, because I like where we're going with this one. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I hate to do it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, stick to a point. But I think you almost have to go case by case basis. Like what you were saying is spot on. Like, we got all this education out here. We got all this opportunity, more than we have ever had. But at the same time, we're locked up more than anybody for the doing the least amount of crime. There's not a category in America that we are not systemically hurt from. So that's the no part of it. But the yes, like you said, like, we got to educate ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's 2 good examples here. I don't know if y'all seen this, been all over like social media. Like, a dude won the lottery for $30,000, And
He was from the
went
city,
on a
wasn't he, bro?
I was in Detroit. Yeah.
He was from the city.
That's y'all city.
That's some city shit, ain't it?
Oh God.
Yeah, like that. Like there's no, like dude was doing the interview and his teeth were crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, his
Like
teeth
that's
was
the
wild.
education of
He
it.
was doing an interview. On what?
His
Dog,
teeth was
Yeah,
fucked.
so
Dog
so
got he hit the
dude,
lottery for
go ahead.
30 bands and he went and bought a 20K 20 band chain and
Went to the gas station and
he
got
got
that bitch
robbed for his
snatched up.
Yeah.
Strong arm robbery at that. Like, damn, you ain't
So
got
then-
no knife, no
Dog
nothing,
was
no
screaming
mace.
and everything.
Yeah, but on top of that, yeah,
Shit.
on top of that, I mean, he was still looking crazy. His car is crazy. You know what I mean? And then he's doing an interview with the news. You know, looking crazy like that. That's where Amon is at on the chain.
That's-
You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's victimhood mentality to me. But then on the other side, we just hit 100 years of the Greenwood massacre. You know what I mean? Like that's 100 years of being passed down, of knowing that what we built and they took it from us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm talking about the people like whose great grandparents built that and things like that. Like those people are still, even some of the survivors, there's still a couple of survivors who are still, living in the hood there. And,
Not to mention, my bad for
what if-
interrupting, but not to mention the ramifications of something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a generation
that's where I was going.
of people who
That's where I was
who
going at.
were hurt and I mean, you know what I'm saying, who were set back in a situation like that.
Whose brain, whose thought process has been shifted because of that. And now they leaned on crack in the 80s or something like that because from that. So I can't fault them for that kind of situation. And that's why I say you got to go case by case almost. So I think everything everybody says here is going to be right. Like,
I actually agree with Thomas more. I feel like us, you gotta be very careful when you saying what's the word, victimhood, like you're using victimhood as a crutch. I think you gotta be like real careful because I think people already that's not black look at us in that way, that we use that shit as a crutch. But like I was thinking,
exactly,
as a system, I mean as a whole, my bad, not as a system, but as a whole, we do get locked up more. In the hood, you know what I'm saying? We don't have grocery stores with fresh produce. We got chicken wing and pizza spots. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have the same. I hate when people be like, you got the same opportunity. Like, it's not the same, bro. It's liquor stores and crackheads on each, you know what I'm saying, corner. Like, you didn't have to grow with it. It's different. Now, I do agree that if you are black and in a fucked up situation, you can make it out. Yes, but it's definitely... Yeah,
can I ask you something in? I really hate to be devil's advocate in this, but I will ask, at what point though do you say, like, man, the opportunity wasn't there, and then at what point do you say that people didn't at some point decide like the game ain't gonna be fair? So, and I don't give a shit. I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna still go and get on and get off my knuckles and figure that out. I guess that's my question.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like you gotta make an opportunity. So
but on top of that, this is a question that we gotta have amongst each other. I feel what you're saying about like, people on the outside. I don't give a shit what they think. I'm talking like this really is like amongst each other. At some point, we have to talk to each other and be like, hey, nah, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? This ain't it. We gotta do better.
Right. Well, I agree with that part too. Yeah, everything. Like, all right, for instance, I don't know if y'all seen it was viral. It was a lady said she was obese because of racism. Did y'all see that? Y'all see that?
Nah, I ain't seen that.
Oh man. Now, granted, the point. I'm sorry.
I think I heard about it. I think I did see some shit like that. Like,
yeah. Now, granted, I get what she was trying to say. Like, with slavery, we sold food, we got the scraps and stuff, but we're not forcing you to eat that to this day. You feel me? So that's where it kind of comes into about knowledge, knowing better, doing better, stuff like that. But what you say?
So I agree totally with everything, that all of y'all just said as well. Kind of alluding to what, Kevin said earlier about everybody being right. But this is my thing with that.
Hey, real quick, let me let bro chime in real quick.
Oh, Josh, yeah, go ahead.
Josh, what you got, bro?
Mine is kind of, I would say, like, of course, we got to do the case by case, but I would say more as a whole. I think, we use it as a crutch. And I try to approach it how I would do it any one of my guys. Like, I'm going to always hear you out that first time, but the second time, the goal would be to come with a solution so we can get out that problem. Okay. Now, of course, it's easier said than done. I'm not saying that's going to be easy by any means, but I would like to, in my mind, I don't think all the people I knew, their childhood definitely wasn't perfect and definitely was messed up. And so, like, that's already a given to me of saying, like, we already are, like, going to be, like, have the liquor stores. The opportunities are definitely not there like other people would be. But going into that, we know that. And so the goal is we can sit here and talk about it, but until we come up with a solution and try to get it out, because I've seen too many people make it out to where I think some people I know back home, speaking personally, that still use it as a crutch, but I know hasn't actually tried to get out their situation. And they're looking for, someone to hand it out to them, and that's never going to come.
Yeah. All right, my bad, Farm. What you got? My bad, Spiff, I mean.
No, you all good. I mean, Nixon hit, right? We already had, I understand what you're saying, TJ. I mean, all of y'all kind of, echoed the sentiment. But we know that already. You know what I'm saying? These are things that we know already, right? That, and we know how they happen. That's the thing. That's the biggest thing. We know how they happen. And beyond that, another problem that I have with kind of this mentality, right, is we act as if it gives off the notion that white people or the man, like, they created all of these issues that, exist in a human condition, right? But these is all human. Poverty is a human construct. That's something that existed before a white person existed ever. You know what I'm saying? Like slavery, that's something that existed before a white person ever existed. Disproportionality and, resources existed before white people existed. All of these things existed before white people existed. So first of all, this is a problem that we have to face as humans and fix as humans. And it's not easy, like Josh said. But what we can't do is automatically conclude that because I'm Black or because I was born Black in America that, I'm automatically the oppressed, or I'm automatically set up for failure. You know what I'm saying? When that's not the case, especially today in 2021, right?
I don't agree with that, bro. Like, they can still discriminate just for you having locks, bro. Like in the corporate America, you know what I'm saying? Like the school to prison pipeline, like they're definitely still out here trying to fuck us. Like the police still killing us, bro, and like motherfuckers walking off, like, nah.
Yeah.
All of that was correct, what you said, bro. But I mean, like, all of that was created before they took it, but they took it and created a power structure out of it in this country, and they purposely pushed us to that spot. So but I mean, that's on us, and that's why, we shouldn't go out there publicly saying, "Oh man, y'all need to get up." Like, what did Martin Luther King say? If you don't have bootstraps to strap up, then you know what I mean. How are you?
See, I guess I get where y'all coming from, but that in ways I kind of feel where Spiff coming from in a lot of that, because like I do feel like I don't think we should have these conversations behind closed doors all the time. I think sometimes we need to have them conversations out front. I don't give it, because I think a lot of it is like we don't want to talk about it because it seems like it's a shame to it. Like, no, I mean, it's nothing wrong with having that conversation and saying like, no, I get it. Like there are structures in place. I mean, there are structures that have existed for a while, and maybe it's not, maybe they didn't create it, and maybe y'all are right about, you know what I'm saying, certain situations that they continue to empower. I don't think that every white person is inherently, and I'm not saying that's what y'all saying, I don't think every white person is inherently waking up to think and is born to think like I want to be a part of the like a part of supremacy. But at the same time, at some point we have to like talk to each other, because there are also things that we need to talk about that has nothing to do with what they force on us. It's certain shit amongst our community that we need to fix, and it don't, you know what I'm saying, necessarily have nothing to do with them. You know what I'm saying?
Can I get an example of that one?
Go ahead.
You saying me an example of that? I think a big one is our what do I call it? The slave mentality of how we treat our children. I mean, we talked about it already in a previous one. I think Black people have a horrible habit of thinking that physical discipline should always be the first way of teaching your children. I'm absolutely against it. And I think that's something I think that contributes to some of the aggression that we have in our community. You know what I'm saying? Because you start teaching people fight or flight mentality. You know what I'm saying? That don't got shit to do with white people nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Fight or flight, a lot of that has to do with the fact that we think that, hey, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to hit you, and you don't like being hit, so you're going to conform, instead of teaching somebody like, you shouldn't do this because this isn't the right thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People
lack. You saying like
we lack communication skills. I think that's something we need to fix in our community. It ain't nothing a white person or a man got to do with that anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
All right. So you say so you say anymore. So you said it did come from slavery, but at this point in time, 2021, like
we know
there's no excuse for that anymore.
Got you. I see. All right. I see what you're saying.
We know our problems come from slavery, and so it's not. I don't think Derek is saying, or myself is saying, that the problems don't exist, or they never, or they don't exist today even. But is evident is that we know that now. We talking about this for 10, 15 years. Y'all would agree, right? That now this place you can hear your most ignorant motherfucker on the street say, man, the hood like this because of slavery. It could be the most ignorant killer you know, and he'll say that. It's not a secret. You know what I'm saying? So, and to Braxton's point, and I'm glad you said what you said, Kevin, we need to talk about this out loud. And that's part of the problem. I think that's how we got to the victimhood thing that we're speaking about today, is because we allowed ourselves to stop having, we've allowed ourselves to continue to have a one-sided conversation in the Black community the whole way for the last 30, 40 years, right? So now it's to the point where we can't even have a conversation to elevate ourselves, because as soon as somebody, let's say like myself, right, comes and says something that's contrary to what we've been told or taught or talked about in the Black community, I'm pegged, that person a coon or Uncle Tom, or he's pegged as ignorant or doesn't know no better, or brainwashed or by the system, or whatever you want to call it, right? But we can't even have a conversation with each other. We can't even have a conversation with each other. We automatically write off the idea that we can empower ourselves and move beyond the point that we at without no other race help. As soon as somebody says something like that, we look at that, we take that point with disgust and immediately outcast the person who says that. You know what I'm saying? Then we stay in the same spot. We keep having this conversation about, when is the white man gonna realize that they did us bogus for 400 years, and when are they gonna help us? They'll never do that. They will never do that. If y'all had an advantage over somebody, however you got the advantage, if you had the advantage over somebody, would you just give it back to them? If you took a nigga shit, I'm sorry, excuse my language, y'all. Can I curse on?
Do your thing.
I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Y'all took somebody's stuff, right? Y'all gonna give it back to them? If they just come up to you and be like, hey guys, hey, you did this to me last year. You took my watch, bro. Like, you mind if I have it back? You gonna give it back to them?
No. If it's already mine, it's mine. I get that.
Matter of fact, you gonna say, what watch?
Probably.
They say, what watch?
My grandmama gave me that chain.
Right. What bike? You know what I'm saying? So it's like we can't expect definitely can't expect. It's counterproductive. That's my point here. Is that it's counterproductive to automatically have the mentality that we got to wait on white people to right their wrongs, or we got to wait on the system to right their wrongs. That we can't. We'll get nowhere like.
Yeah, I feel both ways on that last part.
Subject soon, but yeah, keep going.
I feel both ways on that last part. Yeah. As far as the suppressors, they not. Don't wait on them to right their wrongs, but just like how we put Biden in office, we need to see some change. We put you there. You know what I'm saying? Us. Yeah. You feel me? So I need all that you promised plus some. You know what I'm saying? So
I can see that. I can understand that.
Real quick, what you said and what bro just said. You said and Brax, you said this twice. Like we shouldn't hide this. You know what I'm saying? Like this should be public. I don't care who hears. Yes, I mean I'm part of a public podcast. I'm down to get this word out. But I would like to be. I wish we could keep it just us.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely. That part I do agree. I agree. We can talk about it out loud. That don't mean everybody get to chime in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there we go.
I feel
they're gonna pick what we're talking about and ignore the other.
And that's all I was getting at. I was like, for the motherfuckers who always be like, well, they lay this stuff anyway. You see what they saying? They do use it as a crutch. Yeah. You see? Yeah. That's pretty much what I was trying to say.
Yeah, but in reality, a lot of those people who say that type of stuff, they don't affect no real type of change anyway. There are people who do, but I don't think
that. They got those same people got big voices. Tucker Carlson, one of the biggest people out there. He's got the biggest show,
and he ain't going nowhere. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What you mean? Well, we don't need to give him ammunition either, though.
Yeah. I mean, ammunition would be me going on there and saying, yeah, I agree with you, Tucker. No, I don't think it's necessarily ammunition to be honest about ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
You don't think it's ammunition for him to be like, I agree with you, Braxton?
It is.
I don't saying the other way around.
Hey, Kevin, it is ammunition. You absolutely right, but you got to think. You got to just think about what we really saying right now, right? That is ammunition. It has to be no less $500 million on the street right now in the Black community coming from this, this PPP loan, phenomenon, right? Mm-hmm. And I could tell you from, just being out in the streets. I'm out in the streets every day. I'm about to go outside right now. Actually, that's what I'm about to have to hop off here in a second. But people is not using that. I mean, there are a large amount of people who using it, for opening up businesses and things of that nature. But you know what I'm saying? Saks Fifth is shut down right now. The racks is empty. You know what I'm saying? You go to Nordstrom, the racks is empty right now. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Niggas is buying chains, just like y'all said. Niggas really buying chains and Rolexes and all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's evident. It's evident, and that's what you call that ammunition. It's evident that.
We low-key should have used the PPP loan for the podcast.
Hey, we would all came in here too.
All five of us.
Everybody in this. Well, yeah, my bad.
No, seriously though, I'm just saying that I could see it with my own two eyes that when we get the opportunity, that's ammunition for them. When we get the opportunity, we go and spend that shit on Gucci boots. You know what I'm saying? Immediately, the black dollar circulates in 6 hours?
Mm-hmm.
6 hours versus...
Not to mention, black people got to get off of European designers' nuts. I saw that on Instagram or Twitter, one of them, and I couldn't agree with that shit more. And this is coming from somebody who has bought Gucci and Prada, all that shit, but I just feel like it's starting to get old at this point.
It's okay to do that, but then you can't then turn around and say, y'all have to give us reparations. Nigga, they just gave damn near every black person in America 20 to 40,000. So I know they didn't been up 100K. You know what I'm saying? Off just doing other people, loans and shit like that. So it's like you can't then turn around and say, give us more. They gave it to us, we took it, but the point that I'm making is that even when motherfuckers get that mentality has it to where once somebody gives you something, we want more because we want to be right, our wrongs to be. You know what I'm saying? But like, nobody's gonna right those wrongs. Nobody's gonna right those wrongs but us. We have to police us.
Yeah, I agree. I can agree with you on that to an extent. I do think there are some stuff they do. I mean, they do need to write, you know what I'm saying? They could potentially, I don't know if it will happen, but I mean shit, every other you know what I'm saying, ethnic group has had who has had a claim to being oppressed in the United States have been, you know, in some way compensated and or protected in a way, and I don't think that we've been afforded that same thing. I mean, they passing this Asian hate bill, which you like we talked about before, and I mean, we've been getting slaughtered, you know what I'm saying, since I can remember. Now, you know, are there things that we need to do better? Yeah, true. But I do think I can agree with you on that. I do think there is some stuff they could do, but I definitely feel you on that.
Yeah, and with all of that being said, I'm sorry, guys. Again, I do have to head out, so I would love to be back on, so I could, maybe have a part 2 and touch on this topic some more. I would love to, get into the, whole religion point, because that's a whole another, thing in and of itself, and that kind of ties into what we're speaking about right now. I would. But I got to run.
Yeah, I know you gotta go, man. I definitely wanted to hear your opinion on religion, but it's all good. I know you got what you gotta do. But yeah, bro, we appreciate you tapping in with us. We definitely gonna link again. You know what I'm saying? I think it was good conversation. So you know what I'm saying. You already know it is. We're gonna talk after this anyway. But
I appreciate y'all having me.
Of course.
For sure, bro.
Good talk, bro.
For sure. All right, salute.
Yeah.
So let's see. Oh yeah, we're gonna let you
where I left off.
Yeah,
where I left off.
I know and before we go, I know people gonna be like, how did you bring Kyrie Irving and victimhood mentality? I do think to an extent he played the victim in that, and that's why I found it interesting. I like, see, this is the type of stuff where people don't take us serious when you take something. I think so. You made it a race situation, which it is out there, but then you kind of like went back. You made it a petty moment. Like, if you're gonna be on, if you're gonna be real, be real. If you're gonna be petty, and stop playing everything on religion if that's not the case in this situation. But go ahead, Kelvin.
Hey, I 100% disagree with everything you just said, but let me say my piece. I want you to, make me a believer in that. Like, just tell me what you think. Let me see what, maybe I'm looking at it in a different way.
Well, go ahead, and I'm gonna chime in.
But okay, I mean, so to back up a little bit, the main thing what Kyrie did at the end of the game, they won. This is first time playing in Boston since he left, if I'm not mistaken.
That was the first time in front of a crowd, yeah.
Crowd, yeah, that's it. So he made that little statement at first. Hope they don't bring race in it. Boston is known, has its history with racial issues. But anyway, so he walks on the court, wipes his feet, goes down, somebody throws a bottle at him, inches from hitting him in the head. The dude got arrested, all that. But I think overall, I think that I don't see any correlation with victimhood mentality on this one. And I think that we as Americans, or maybe just humans in general, I think we focus and care too much on symbolism. So much, because I think you see people, we get so mad when someone, well, let me back up just to me. Like I am big on Black empowerment. Us raising up from the bottom of America that we have historically have been. But if a guy wearing a whole KKK thing is standing in front of my face and lights something up that says Black Lives Matter on it, it would hurt me none. I don't value, first off, that person who did it. I don't value anything he believes. Therefore, if that's the case, he can't hurt me. So nothing he does is going to bother me whatsoever until he puts his hands on me or any one that I love or anything that is mine that I own, then we got a problem. Then all bets are off. Things are gonna go another way. But as far as the symbolism of it, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt me. Kyrie, they've been running up and down on that court all night. No one had an issue, but he wipes his feet on it. Like that was, I wouldn't do that. I think it was dumb on Kyrie's part. But as far as it meant something to him. So he had this probably planned from before the game started. At the end of the game, I wiped my feet on it. Showing that I'm done with them. It was that itself was disrespectful. That racist person lighting something on fire in front of me is disrespectful. But again, he didn't hurt me. He didn't hurt anything that he didn't change anything in my life. So that's what I'm saying. We focus too much on that. That person, him wiping his feet on that, yeah, it was rude, disrespectful, unnecessary. Um, but it made someone so mad in that crowd that they wanted to physically harm a human for doing that. So, oh, he hurt my feelings, so now I need to hurt him physically. And so I don't think we should have any animosity to Kyrie for that. We put all our energy into this dude trying to hurt another human for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, so I feel you, and in the same sense, I would say that's a bit of a oversimplification of the situation. I think so. Well, first of all, Nixon, you got anything, TJ? I wanna
Mine's just, man, bro's a cornball. Okay, what you say? Because I was about to say, I mean, we can't play the super sophisticated answer where we can't, because that's like saying what the Tucker Carlson dude. If we could care less what he says, then he doesn't have ammunition. But we put value in their words. So I get, but I do agree with you I do think, people in general put, symbolization on, because I was about to say, Crips, Bloods, it's like everything will have a symbol. But I also think, like, do I think that person was racist? Possible. I don't know. Or could he just been loyal to a team because for some reason people always wants to belong to something, right? So you want to protect, just like you guys are my guys. Regardless if it's not physical harm, it would be something like it's just loyalty. Like, would I throw a bottle? Of course we wouldn't do that, but I could see it. But do I think Kyrie does a lot of things? This instance, I won't say should he have done it? No, but I do think he does a lot of things and plays victim. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
TJ, can I say one thing
okay.
real quick? Just like one sentence, like, hey, he might be a cornball. That's a whole nother discussion, in my opinion. Like I think he's cool, but I don't have a problem with somebody with somebody thinking that he's a cornball. Like that might be. That's cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a part of the game. I don't think it's disrespectful or none of that. I feel like it's like talking shit. It's a part of the game, bro. Like, just like, what was my man's?
Which part you think is part of the game?
Huh?
Which part? Are you talking about him stepping on the thing, or are you talking about somebody throwing something?
No. All right, my bad. Yeah, him stepping on the logo. I feel like it's a part of like shit talking on the court. It's the same shit to me. You feel me? And just like what was it? Terrell Owens used to do that shit when he used to stand in the middle of the Cowboys,
and somebody
you know what I'm saying? I feel like
back though.
Yeah, but so I feel like it's a part of the game. That's talking shit, and then like Nixon said, I don't necessarily know if it's racist, because I definitely know some super loyal fans that just be wild, bro. And you be like, damn, bro, do you know these motherfuckers personally? Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I don't think it was that big of a deal. Step on it, spit on it, whatever. Talk shit. Man, it's sports. Man. That's how we get down. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I feel you. I think it, to an extent it's a part of the game, but I think people being overly passionate about the sport is part of the game too. I don't know if you somebody throwing something, but I started to see players be like, "Oh, we want to see his face," and they were like, "Oh, he needs to be arrested." And maybe fine.
Did he throw popcorn or water?
He threw water. The other dude
threw
threw
a
water.
Water bottle?
Yeah, he threw a water
No,
bottle.
you could hurt that nigga. He gotta get the fuck on.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe. And if that happened, yeah, I guess I would be wrong and think, yeah, he should be locked up. But I don't think his intent was to hurt anybody or anything. And on top of that, I don't think that I don't know racism in this case. I feel like is a bit of a stretch. Um, but I think that's why I say like that whole victimhood thing or and him playing the victim in a sense is like you already mentioned racism there. So now anything done like from that point forward is kind of gonna empower that idea no matter what people's intent was. And that's why I say like if you're gonna hop on that kind of that type of rant, then you kind of gotta act like an adult at that point. And I think he chose to not act like an adult, and then everybody and the players wanted to follow suit and be like, oh yeah, but y'all, everybody know if you showed that man face, let's say he not racist, but y'all show this man face, that man about to be getting death threats. He about to, you know what I'm saying, have to be looking over his shoulder for the rest of his life. And I don't think that if I don't necessarily know if that should be that person's life going forward either. You know what I'm saying? I just think he shouldn't be able to come back to the games, at least for a long time. And he probably should be fine in a situation like that. Like is Boston a racist ass place? Since I was a kid, I've always had the idea that Boston was a racist place to be, and then I just started to hear people say, you know what I'm saying, say that. So I'm sure it's some truth to what Kyrie was saying, but I just think that it's irresponsible to go there and make it seem like yeah we need to keep it basketball, and then when you know people when you keep it sports people get overly emotional and hyped up. So don't do something like that this time. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be immature about something like that, do that when you ain't just said less than 24 hours ago. I hope people keep it basketball and not racist. You know what I'm saying? Because then, like I said, now that man could be looked at as a racist for the rest of his life. And that man might not have ever said nothing racist in his whole entire life or ever thought a racist thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I was saying like that's a little bit irresponsible and corny in my opinion. But
Hey, I said that I, didn't agree with you, make me a believer. I didn't think you could do it, but that's how you tied in. That's how you tied in.
He said, I didn't believe you. He said, you learned me.
I mean,
I
see how you tied in the victimhood mentality on it.
yeah,
And all that was true. I agree with everything you said. Like it was dumb for him to do it, but that don't mean it was racist. Like throw the bottle. I mean,
yeah.
I had a question for you just now. You said, uh, why should the dude, like he did something wrong, right? Throwing the bottle or whatever to another person trying to harm. Why should he not get everything that's coming for him? Because you downed it, I think, a little bit more than what a lot of people wanted. And then that's my first question. And then is Kyrie? I know he said everything at first, and then the bottle got thrown at him. Did he afterwards say? I'm asking. I don't. I'm not trying to be funny. I don't know. Did he say like that was racist? Him throwing the bottle at me,
No, he didn't.
or was that just other people?
Yeah, no, I think yeah, everybody else made it into that and kind of like tied them together. But I think to an extent, when you do that, I'm not saying his intentions was to do that, but you have to be once you start going into that type of lane, then you have to be careful because you will start to create that narrative in a situation that may not be because if I'm gonna call somebody if I want anybody to be accused of being racist, I want it to be somebody that is actually potentially racist, not somebody that's an idiot, you know what I'm saying, in the stands, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the part where I'm just like, hey man. And at times, I mean shit, that dude could have contributed whatever to, you know what I'm saying, any type of cause or whatever, but now he's being paid as racist, and you know what I'm saying, you creating an enemy where you don't necessarily need one. Not that somebody should be worried, but that's why I think at times black people in general tend to lean too heavily on the race card and which in time at times can create enemies where like it wasn't even, there was no intent for that person to be our enemy. Y'all have been around people where somebody, I'm sure y'all have been around somebody who literally just called somebody racist because they didn't agree with them, you know what I'm saying, or started white boy this and white girl that, you know what I'm saying, talking to them like they not you know what I'm saying, human, or making them seem less of because they not black too. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'd be like, bro, don't make that person an enemy when they ain't necessarily an enemy. Or that person could have been the most pro-black. I done seen white females or white males be so pro-black, and then black people find themselves trying to humble them. You know what I'm saying? Like, are they leaders in our community? No, they aren't leaders in our community. But if they're an ally, let them be an ally. You know what I'm saying? I mean, are there times where you might be like, hey, let's have a conversation. I need you to stay away from that conversation. But at times, black people go into that. We be so emotionally charged up about stuff. You gotta humble this person. And you like, bro, you could have had an intelligent conversation with that person and they would have probably understood, like, all right, I shouldn't have said that. Or that's not a topic I need to be involved in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like I see y'all get where I'm coming from on that. You know what I mean? That's the part where I get a little frustrated with us at times.
That was real. That was real stuff. Everything you said, man. We talk about Kyrie a lot. It seems on this podcast.
I rock with
He's always
Kyrie
doing
though. I rock
something.
with a lot of the stuff he
And
do.
I want to say he was gonna send me, a jersey or something if he watched this joint. But I mean, the whole wiping the feet, like I said, I think that was just dumb. And especially
let him get it out, bro. Let him get it out.
It was, if you had just like you said, Brax, if you just did the whole, you calling the city out in a way, and now you're gonna aggravate and poke the bear a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're throwing a lob for them to throw something at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so, if you know it is what it is in that place, you do
It's
your
like
game, you
throwing
do your
stones and
job, and
hiding
then get
your
up out
hand.
of here. Yeah. So I think he was wrong for that. He shouldn't have did that. But yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end it on this one. We usually have multiple topics, but I think this topic was it was fun, and I think we dragged it on, and I think it was good conversation. So with that, man, we're gonna close out, man. Continue to tap in with us if you like this this podcast, if you like this episode, like, share, subscribe, repost. Just keep looking out for us. Once again, we want to thank Spiff, aka the Quan Farmer, for coming on with us. We definitely gonna have to have him back to tap in with us. So shout out to everybody that listen, man. Shout out to Chef TJ and Chef's Collab. I had my Hennessy pineapple bowl this past Wednesday. That shit was fire. Yeah, it was the what was it, cube steaks. It was
it was ribeye. So we had
ribeye bites,
so ribeye, shrimp, and chicken, fried rice, and a pineapple bowl. Every Wednesday we do Chef's Collab. So go get with me on my Instagram is Chef __ TJ. On my Facebook is Chef T.J. And then actually this week I got I'm gonna do a stuffed smoked salmon with my spinach dip. It's gonna bang. So y'all get in, tap in, you know what I'm saying? Let me know.
But other than that, man, like I said, man, we appreciate y'all tapping in with us.
I bet.